Alrighty guys, I'm Casey and welcome to a brand new episode of Into the Farlands. I decided to go back to an old schedule that I had of recording a week in advance. It seems the better option for getting regular content up, so I'm going to do that. And so I'm on my 4th episode of this, all ready for next week. And the other 3 vanilla videos are going to be probably Minecraft Survival, because I want to do some more in that. But anyway, last episode we talked about my dogs, about Dopey and Beggar. Or I should have said Jealous Beggar, because she is very jealous when you pet the other dog. But this episode I want to talk about something completely different. I did say at the beginning of this series that Journey to the Farlands, or as I'm calling it, Into the Farlands, is a series where I'm going to basically be walking all the way to probably around 12 million blocks out to see a part of terrain that generates really janky and really strange and really bizarre. And we're going to be walking the whole way there. And so it's kind of boring each episode just walking in one direction. And so I thought each episode I'm going to talk about something. I'm going to use this series as a way to update you on my life, as a way to share stories with you that I want to share. Wells Knight does talky episodes, Boogie does rambling, I do Into the Farlands. And so, I'm not going to make a vote for that. And so this episode, what I want to talk about is gaming and what gaming it means to me. What games have had an impact on my life. What games have truly changed my life. And why I consider myself to be a true gamer. So, there's a lot of gamers in the world and a lot of people can own the fact that they are gamers. Millions of people every day play Fortnite. Millions of people play Minecraft. And what do I mean when I say true gamer? Because is anybody who plays games a true gamer? Well, not by what I consider to be a true gamer. You see, I got a friend who will not touch a FIFA game. He'll play a handful of games, but he won't touch a FIFA game. It took me a lot of convincing him to give Call of Duty a go. Another one of my friends will absolutely not touch Call of Duty no matter what because, well, in his own words, he sucks at PvP. Why would he want to play a game just to suck at it? And I can't argue that fact. I genuinely can't argue that fact. But me, I consider myself to be a true gamer. And by that definition, I am open to playing any game. And I am not going to dismiss a game simply because I don't think I will like it. So let's take one example. Let's take Fortnite. I genuinely don't think I'll enjoy Fortnite. I think it's a game that just isn't for me. I'm like my other friend, I suck at PvP. And I haven't PvP'd in quite some time, many years now, so I may be better. But I did give Fortnite a go right at its rise of popularity, but when I gave it a go, it had literally the Battle Royale mode and squads, and that was it. You had one life in each mode. I think it was like season 2, season 3. It was very early on in the Fortnite life cycle, and I played it and I didn't like it. I gave it a couple of hours and I didn't like it. And so I don't like that game, but I have made the decision recently that I am actually at the beginning of the next season, I am going to play that season start to finish. I'm going to try my best to make regular content over on what was going to be the 4K gaming channel, but is now going to be more of a mainstream gaming channel, and I'll slowly get to 4K. But as a true gamer, I'm open to playing games that I don't think I will like. And I'm open to playing them and giving them an opportunity. And as a true gamer, I like many different games. Now, personally, I think that playing a full season of Fortnite is as close as I'm ever going to come to actually completing Fortnite, so to speak. And maybe I will like it after playing a season. Maybe a season is what I will need to get better at it. Maybe I'll find out that maybe PC Fortnite wasn't for me. Maybe I prefer it on console, because I do prefer my shooters on console myself, as does my own personal preference. Of course I misjudged that jump, because why wouldn't I? But yeah, as I was saying, maybe that's what it'll take. But I'm open to that. I'm not going to close it off just because I don't think I will like it, or because my past experiences have led me to believe that actually I won't like it. And that's what I mean by a true gamer. And I didn't used to be like that. You see, my friend, one of my closest friends, he will not play a game if it is, as he puts it, rammed down his throat. So, in other words, it seems to be on everybody's tongue. People are suggesting that he plays it. You know, I tried to get the guy to play Gears of War for the longest time, but everybody was telling him to play it. And because everybody was telling him to play it, his reaction to that was, oh, everyone's telling me to play it? I'm not going to play it. I'm tired of hearing about this. Eventually, he got to watching me play it one day, didn't realize what it was, asked if he could join, and it did, and then asked me what it was, and I said it was Gears. And he was like, oh, so I should have played it. And he's been like that with quite a few games. But I don't know why it is that he loses interest. I don't know if it's his way of sticking it to the man, or if for him he feels pressured into it. I don't know what it is. I've never really sat down and talked to him about it. But I'm the kind of person that, okay, I will play something. Now, like him, if it is too shoved down my throat like Fortnite was, like PUBG was, like Overwatch was, and Destiny 2, then I usually back off at first. Not for a long period of time, not indefinitely, but it's like, okay, so everyone wants me to play it. I kind of feel pressured that I have to play it, and I would rather play it when I'm open to playing it more. You know, I mean, a couple of months back, I'm not a big FIFA fan. I'm not big on football games. I don't understand them too much. I don't like football as a general rule. But every time that there is like a World Cup or a European Cup, my wife watches it. And I always get the itch. I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to play a bit of FIFA. And for me, that's the perfect time to play FIFA. Because I feel like I want to play it. I'm open to it more. I feel like, in general, I'm going to have a better time. I actually need a bed for this episode. I always feel like I make a bed the wrong way round as well. But anyway, yeah. So I went out and I picked up, I think it was like FIFA 2019. It was a previous year's one. I picked it up for £2, £3 on the PS4. But that's me. If something's like being shoved down my throat, I feel a little bit pressured, but I don't close off the opportunity to it. Whereas my friend does. But maybe I should. Maybe that's an interesting topic to actually talk with him. He has been staying over the past week, and he's staying over for another week, although he's out over the next couple of days. He's got a little bit of work that he couldn't get out of. But yeah, let's actually figure out why he doesn't. Be nice to understand. But anyway, back to gaming and being a true gamer. You know, I play a lot of games, so I want to share with you a couple of fond memories of gaming, or rather games that have inspired me and influenced me over the years. So I would say that the biggest game that has influenced my life in the biggest way would have to be this one right here, Minecraft. And I don't take lightly to saying this, and it shocks a lot of people. It really, really does. And what you got to remember is I'm a gamer from the retro era. So I grew up playing the SNES, the N64, and the PlayStation. I had a PlayStation 2. I had quite a lot of games for the PlayStation 2. And once I got my own place and I was financially stable, I bought the Xbox 360 and played hundreds of games on there. So I have played quite a lot of games. And, you know, my friend asked me the other day, like, what's your favorite game? And my answer shocked him, because if I asked him that, he's going to say something like, oh, Ocarina of Time. Or, oh, what's the other one that he's always... it's Dragon Quest. That's it. You know, he's got this whole list of games that he can roll off. But I have one. And I answer this every time somebody asks me what my favourite game is. My favourite game is this one. It's Minecraft. Because I enjoy creating things. I enjoy building things. I enjoy the whole living a life in a virtual world kind of scenario. And for me, Minecraft feels satisfying to play, and I could play this every day and not get bored. There are days when I burn out, and there are days where I just don't feel up to Minecraft. But like 95% of the time, I can always find something to do. If I don't feel like building, I enjoy listening to music and just doing some mining. Other games, for me, I couldn't play every single day. I absolutely love Resident Evil 5 as a game. It's not a very good Resident Evil game, but it is a really good game to play. It's got a good, solid story. I enjoy collecting the BSSA emblems, leveling up the guns. I just enjoy it. It's a satisfying game to play. I play that for a couple of days, maybe a week, and I'm done, you know. I bought that on the Xbox One, I'd say about a year ago now, actually. And I got so far through it. I did quite a lot of the story. I did some extra bits of going back and getting some more gems and stuff so I could level up my guns a little bit more. And just some of the stuff that I enjoyed doing, trying to beat some bosses and that kind of stuff. And then I haven't touched it. And I know I get the itch to play that game every year or so I'll go back to it then. But my point is I play Minecraft, and after a little bit, I want to go back to it. Like a couple of hours, I'm like, oh, you know what, I'll go back to it. And that's why I chose Minecraft as my favorite game. Because it is literally a game that I can play over and over and over again and not grow bored. However, that being said, it is not the game that I have the most fun playing. But for me, favourite game is a game that I could play every day. However, the best story that I've ever played in a game is tied. You see, I really enjoy the story of Gears of War. Gears of War, not just 1, mainly Gears of War 3 and 4 I found the story to be more gripping and just more dynamic, and I enjoyed it more. But the other one kind of shocks a lot of people. You see, I really enjoyed the story of Call of Duty, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. I played a lot of games, and that story kind of really gripped me. Finding out Reznov wasn't real. The whole brainwashing of Mason, I believe his name was. It has been many years since I've played the Call of Duty games, and I do want to go back and play it. But, you know, they were good stories, and I really loved them. And again, I really enjoyed the story of Resident Evil 5. I felt a connection to the characters. I felt they were interested, and I liked the story. I know a lot of people don't like that game. I've got a friend who's part of a large YouTube channel, and he absolutely loves the Resident Evil series, and he doesn't like that game. But I do. And most of the people that I speak with don't, but I do like that game. I really do like that game. I really do enjoy it. I own it on PS4. Sorry, no, I don't own it PS4. PS4 is one platform I don't own it on. Oh, I spoiled it now, look. I own it on Steam. I own it on Games for Windows Live, although that's the physical copy. The Steam version is the digital copy. I own it on PS3, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. That's how many times I bought that game on every console. There are very few games that I have across multiple consoles. But that game I own on every one apart from the PS4, and the only reason I haven't got it on the PS4 yet is because I haven't come across a physical copy when I've been out shopping. I know I could go on Amazon or eBay and pick up a physical copy quite easily, but there are other games that I want, and I game on a budget, so. But if I was ever out and I saw it, I wouldn't be able to say no. I just wouldn't. But yeah, we've spent about half this episode just talking about not the games that I've played. So let me tell you about the very first game that I ever played. The very first game that I ever played was The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And it was the very, very first gaming memory that I have. And it means so much to me, The Legend of Zelda, because it's not just a game series to me, it's a bond. It's a bond that I have with my mother. You see, I was a little kid, I'd be about 4 or 5, maybe even younger, it's quite possible. And my mum was playing on the SNES in the living room. I think it was the living room. And well, she gets to this puzzle in A Link to the Past that you need to push these blocks sort of to get through. So it's kind of like you push the block in one direction and you got to figure out where you got to push it to be able to maneuver through the passage. And it's so simple. It's so simple and it's so easy. But I think it's just the case of when you've been gaming too long, or even when you're making YouTube videos, you just have that kind of like gamer blindness or YouTuber blindness or whatever you want to call it, where you just end up missing the obvious. And I think that's what it was. But I could see it at, like, I don't know, I'm at 3, 4, 5. I don't remember how old I was. But I ended up seeing it, and I was begging my mum to let me have a go, and she's like, no, I want to play, which was common theme growing up. My mum hugged the consoles. But eventually, for whatever reason, frustration or annoyance with me, I don't know, she let me do it, and I solved it. Do you get clay balls? Yes, you still got 4. Okay, cool. And she let me do it, and I solved it. And the reason that I say that this is a bond for me and my mum, because a couple of years ago, my mum, my wife, me, and my wife's mother, we went on holiday, and there was an advert on the telly of the Nintendo 2DS, and it was the Pokemon edition. And it was like, I don't know, £180 with a game? I don't know, it wasn't that expensive anyway. And I'm like, well, my mum's always wanting to play these older games. She loves the Pokemon games, and she loves her old Legend of Zelda games. So I'm going to treat her this year for Christmas. I'm going to buy her that. And so I put the money away, and when it came out, I pre-ordered it. It's the only console I've ever pre-ordered, and it's the only console that I've ever actually bought on release day. Oh, I guess I bought it before release day, but you get what I'm saying there. And anyway, I bought her that. I bought her Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. I bought her A Link Between Worlds, I believe it was. I bought her a couple of the Legend of Zelda games anyway. And every single one of them, every single one, without fail, she has had to come to me to do something on that she cannot do. And for me and my mum doesn't understand the two thumbsticks that you use on an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller. She's used to the D-pad. You move one directional pad to move a character, you don't move two. She doesn't get the whole, okay, this joypad moves the character like this and the other joypad does this. She doesn't get that. Obviously, I'm simulating the mouse and keyboard here, but she doesn't get that. She's tried to understand it, she can't. So for me, gaming with my mom, just the only time I get to do it is when it's on this little 3DS that I bought, or 2DS I should say. And so it really matters to me that we have The Legend of Zelda. Because we do. And I had to do this water puzzle for her. I bought her some of the older ones, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. I bought her them. And, you know, I mean, that's something I talked about family in a couple of videos ago. And I buy my mom so much, and I treat my mom really good because as a teenager, I rebelled. I did this horrible rebellion. I was a really, really horrible teenager. I always had an opinion, and my opinion was right. Everybody else's was wrong. And I ended up treating my mom like garbage as she was losing her mom who was dying in the hospital. And I didn't forgive myself for the way that I treated her for years. My mum says I didn't treat her bad. My mum says that I was just a normal teenager having a bit of a rebellion, and that she would have rather had my rebellion than what a lot of other people had, because I didn't turn to drink, drugs, or smoke, you know? I was just very opinion-driven and very argumentative. But anyway, it's my way of apologising to my mum and making it feel better. So I always buy her whatever she wants, pretty much. Which is annoying because she doesn't tell me what she wants half the time, because she doesn't want me to go and spend money on her because then she feels guilty. It's like that whole loop anyway. But I recently bought a Teo's Adventure, the like sequel to Azora's Dreams, which is one of my all-time favorite games. I love that game, and I want to do a Let's Play of it so bad. I really, really do. But the trouble is my cousin came to me and asked me, said, "Hey, you know what? Can I borrow a couple of games? Can I borrow Azora's Dreams, Grand Theft Auto 3, and a couple of others? I don't know what the others were. I can't remember." And she lives in the next city. It's a good 20-30 mile drive. It's about a 45-minute, hour-long drive. I've never driven it before, and I just don't feel like driving for like an hour there and then for, you know, like an hour back just for one game. And so to pick it up to play it, you know, so I'm just kind of waiting until she returns it. And bearing in mind, this is the cousin that borrows stuff off me and I get it back years later. I recently was like, I want to play Super Mario Sunshine. Where's my Super Mario Sunshine? Jade, have you got my Super Mario Sunshine? Yes, I do. And are you also missing about 5 or 6 other games? I'm like, as a matter of fact, I am. I was wondering where they were. And she's like, I've got them. I'll drop them at Auntie Chris's tomorrow because I'm there. And my Auntie Chris's is just up the road from me anyway. Or rather, her mum was going there, so she, yeah, you get it, picture. But as a teenager, I used to game with said cousin, Jade. We used to be very, very close, but we drifted apart. She went to uni, we drifted apart. I got married. We drifted apart. But for about, I don't know, about 15 years, we were really, really close. It wouldn't have been 15 years. It would have been about from about, yeah, it would have been, because she went to uni when I was about 25. And unless she went to uni when I was about 22, and about 12 years. About 12 years. But anyway, we played so many games together. So many. We played, as a teenager, we played through Ocarina of Time so many times. We did what we called the in-style run. Now, if you've never played Ocarina of Time, you can do backflips in that game. And you can do this jumping slash attack, but they are out of the ordinary to do. You know, your normal methods of moving around in the game are walking, running, and rolling, but you can do a backflip. But it's used just more for convenience and style than anything else. Again, this jumping slash, it's an attack, it's a long attack, but you've got more quicker and more ferocious and just all around easier to use attacks in the game, so there's no point other than if you want to look flashy. And we decided that we were going to do this whole entire run with simply put flashy moves. Everything that we could do with flashy moves, we did. Figuring out how to beat some of the bosses, very difficult. Trying to get everywhere with backflips, not easy. But we did it. We completed Dynasty Warriors 3, 4, and 5 numerous times. And this was a game where you had about 40 characters that all had somewhere between 5 and 7 courses to do. And these courses took about half an hour each to do. So there were hundreds of hours of gameplay into this game if you wanted to play every character. And I did. We leveled them up to the max. We got every single 4th weapon in that game. And we played it a lot. Quite a lot. Like a lot. We completely 100%ed GTA San Andreas over 1 6-week holidays. And then there was Final Fantasy VII. Oh, Final Fantasy VII, the game that I have never beat. That's right. I have never beat Final Fantasy VII. Which is shocking because I own this game. I have owned this game since I got my PlayStation 1 in 1997, 8, 9. It was somewhere in the late 90s that I got my PlayStation. And I have owned Final Fantasy VII. It is sat on my unit, not 10 feet from me. And my PlayStation 1 and my PlayStation 2 are both set up to my left and able to be recorded from. I have no excuse for not playing this game. But I'm mad at the game. Because this is what happened. I played through that game. I beat Ultimate Weapon in my first fight. I accidentally ran into Emerald Weapon. And I beat and won against Emerald Weapon in my first encounter with that thing. I was very proud of that. The only thing that I failed was beating Ruby Weapon. And then came the final boss, Sephiroth. And well, I didn't realize that it was going to be the way it was. And oh no, that wasn't it. I remember now. We were partway through the Sephiroth fight as my aunt turned up to pick Jade up. And Jade had to go. My aunt's very, very strict. And so strict that when she says something, Jade does it without question. And so she said, tell Jade we have to go. We're in a rush. And Jade says, okay, we'll finish this the next time. So I saved the game. But I couldn't wait for her. I didn't want to wait a week to carry on playing this game. 'Cause she lived, like I said, she lives an hour away. And she goes to school somewhere different from me. So we only got to play weekends and school holidays. But at the same time, I really enjoyed playing alongside her. And if she got ahead of me, she would go and do some leveling up while I caught up and vice versa. But at the same time, we was around the same levels. We weren't too high, and I didn't want to go and get like super high of a level, because if I did that, then I'd be ready for Ruby Weapon and she would not. And so I didn't want to betray that trust. I didn't want to betray that idea. And so I decided to start my own save. I thought, you know what, I'm going to play through it again. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to go play through this again. And I'm going to take my time. I'm going to pay more attention to the story. And I'm going to do some of the things differently. And somewhere over my playthrough, I accidentally saved over my save that had me right before Sephiroth. And I didn't have the mannerisms, and back then I was a teenager. I was very angry. Okay, like punch doors angry I used to get back then. And so I didn't touch it, and I haven't touched it since. And I wouldn't say that I'm angry at it now, you know. I would quite like to go back and play it. But the only thing that's stopping me now, like literally the only thing that is stopping me from going and playing Final Fantasy VII is I know that's a game I'm going to sink about 100 hours into, if not more. It's not a short game by any stretch of the imagination. It is a long game. It is a very long game. It's 3 discs long. And I just don't know if I want to devote that time. I like to record my Let's Plays. I like to record the full game in like 1, 2, 3 sittings. I like to play it day after day after day. And I don't like to put them up anymore until I've got the entire game played, because I end up not finishing games. And so this way it promotes me to finish games. And so I just know it's quite a large time investment that I just don't have. It's just, I don't know if I have that time investment to sit down and play Final Fantasy VII and beat it just yet. I think I need more training to get better at longer games, you know? Get more of an attention span, I suppose. I don't know what I'm trying to say, really. But unfortunately, this is the 3rd night, I do believe. This is the 3rd night, yes. So that is it for this episode. Give me my bed back. Actually, no, don't give me my bed back. Oh, if I die, I'm going to spawn at the other bed, aren't I? I should go one more night. You know what? This episode's going to be a slight bit longer just because of that mess up there. We're going to go one more night. So I don't want to put in the time investment into Final Fantasy VII at the minute to do a Let's Play of it. And you may say, well, play it. Don't record for YouTube. You've got no reason to record for YouTube. Play it on your own, you know. Thing is, I don't get a lot of free time. And the free time that I do get, the vast majority of the free time that I have, I spend chasing things that I'm passionate about, things that I enjoy doing. Sometimes that's making YouTube videos, sometimes that's writing my book, sometimes that's working on a game. But I know that I don't have the time to make YouTube videos and play games. As two separate things, I just don't have the time. Yeah, maybe I have time to sit down and play, a bit of Minecraft on the world that I have with both my friends. I can do that because that's just like I can pick that up and leave that off at any time. But as for playing a game, not so much. Like I said, I sat down to watch Deadpool 2 about a week ago. And while my friends have been here, we've had a handful of movies that we've wanted to watch. So far, we've found the time to watch one. And I do believe that we are watching one on Thursday. But as I said, it's just time. I don't have the time to do both. To game and do YouTube, so I combined the two. I combined them, and so I game for YouTube. So let's carry on. Let's talk about some other games that's influenced me over the years. And I'm going to leave Minecraft out of this because you can see how Minecraft has influenced me. I've built a YouTube channel pretty much around Minecraft. I love Minecraft. But I want to talk about other games that you don't necessarily know about me. And let's talk about Resident Evil 2. And I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the original. So, one of my best friends, one of them who's staying with me. I've got two staying with me. One of them that's staying with me. I recently found out, about 2 months ago. Actually, no, I found out around Christmas time when he was coming to stay with me for a couple of weeks. He rang me up and says, hey, look, I want to come down on Christmas Day. I want to come down Christmas night, but there's no buses. Would you mind picking me up from my mum's? I'm like, yeah, sure, I can do that if you want to come down. Where does your mum live? And his mum lives in Woodhouse. And I turned around to him and I said, oh, I lived there as well. I used to live there as a kid. And he says, really? I've lived there my whole life. Well, my mum's lived there her whole life, and I lived there as a kid. And he's about 2 or 3 years older than me. I was like, yeah, I used to live on X Street. And he's like, oh, wow. I lived on Y Street. And I'm not going to give the names of the streets here. But it turns out that the streets are literally round the corner. Like, the road that I lived on goes onto the road that he lives on. And, well, anyway, I didn't end up picking him up. His sister was heading home, and his sister lives over this way, so his sister gave him a lift instead, which was nice, saved me driving out. But anyway, Resident Evil 2 came out in the 90s, and my video shop had one copy. Just one. And I rented that game several weeks in a row. I must have paid for that game 3 or 4 times over, if not more. I paid for it a lot because I played it a lot. Unfortunately, the first disc was really scratched, so I could only ever play Claire A. Because I couldn't play Leon A, because the first disc was scratched. It used to freeze as you went through the door in the courtyard. But I played that game. And his reaction when I was talking about Resident Evil 2, because I told him that, hey, you know what, I've pre-ordered Resident Evil 2, the remake. And he's like, oh, don't talk to me about that game. I tried playing that game as a kid, and every time I went to the video store to rent it out, it was rented out. And then I just shot him the biggest, cheesiest grin I had. And I'm like, I more than likely am the reason, because I rented that game out, and there was only one video shop in the village we lived in. It's just kind of an interesting thing that I'm the reason he didn't play that game until many, many years later, and he ended up pirating the game, which I feel really, really bad for. But everyone had a chipped PlayStation. I have a chipped PlayStation. My PlayStation has the mod chip in it that allows it to play copied games, and I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it in there. I could probably, with my knowledge of soldering, take it out and have a perfectly legit PS1, but I don't really care too much about playing pirated games. Yes, I could download any game I want, burn it to a disc and play it. Yeah, okay, cool, awesome. No, I wouldn't do that. I prefer to buy the game. But I keep it for the other reason. You see, when a PlayStation 1 game does its like copyright protection data thing, it checks for the region of the disk. The mod chip prevents that. It sort of like bypasses that. And in short, basically, because it's a modded, it's a chipped PlayStation, it's region free. I can play games from other countries on my PlayStation, and that saves me buying a PlayStation 1 from, say, America just to play American games, because I've tried buying consoles from other region consoles, it doesn't work. They're always super expensive on the shipping. It's like the price of the console is double because you got to pay the same in shipping, and it's just ridiculous. It really is. So, since that's already done and that's already there, I'm going to just keep it and leave it be. Oh, sheepies. But yes, I have a lot of gaming memories, and you know, the chipped PlayStation was, as a kid, I didn't realize that it was wrong, and it was just awesome. You had this like little list of games that was costing you £2. That's how much it cost you to rent the game out for a week at my video shop, and that was older games. Newer games were £6 a week. But anyway, having this list of games for like £2 was awesome, and I still have quite a few of the copied games that we had. Although I'm not just saying this, I'm genuinely not saying this, but the only copied game that I have that I do not own a legit copy of is Tekken, and I've never played Tekken. Like, I don't even know where that disc is, to be honest with you. It's more than likely it's in with all the other like DVD discs and stuff that I've got, where I've just put stuff on, you know, over the years. Probably in that pile somewhere upstairs. But yeah, you used to have to get a component cable, like this grey cable, because some games would only display in black and white, and this allowed it to display in colour. So that was interesting, which actually is kind of interesting now, because I wonder if that's the same with, if that's what it does with region free games. I forgot all about that. I don't know. But yeah, another game that's impacted me over the years is The Sims, which the series on the channel isn't dead, I've decided. I thought I was going to end The Sims, but I'm going to bring it back. There's more that I want to do with that game. I want to play it more. I'm not done with The Sims by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll see where that goes. It's just, it's a little bit awkward and finicky to record The Sims is, because it changes the resolution of my computer to the resolution of the game. However, if I Elite tab out to go into my recording program to click record, it changes the resolution back to my computer's default. And then when I go back into the game, it doesn't change the resolution. And so when I'm clicking in 1080p, and I'm clicking on pixels where it's showing me that there's an icon to click, but there isn't an icon to click because it's actually a much smaller screen on the screen than it's actually saying it is. And unfortunately, like right now, I have the home key bound to record. It used to be the insert key, but I had to change it because of conflicts. I can't remember what that was about now. But anyway. Yeah. Oh, yes, I remember now. I was going to do a Let's Play of a game called Kingsfield. Me and my friends were going to do a Let's Play of it. But unfortunately, I ordered the game, I bought the game, but the game just didn't come in time. So I thought, well, my friend's got a copy, and I'm just going to emulate it. I'm just going to use an emulator, because his copy, he copied to his... I never thought I could have burnt it to a disc, because I've got that chip, haven't I? Never thought of that. But it's alright, my copy's come now. It's the unfortunate thing of ordering off of Amazon Easter weekend. Unfortunately. But yeah, that's why my key changed. But yeah, the key just doesn't work in Sims to start and stop recording. So I have to record, then launch the Sims, then end the Sims and end recording. It's just a bit more of a hassle than I would like it to be. But yeah, I think that's going to go ahead and call it for this episode, guys. That's just some of the games that have influenced me over the years. I'm sure there's more, and there is always time to go ahead and do a second video and continue talking about games in the future. But I've told you about some of the games that's influenced, like my decisions with my family, my relationships with certain people, And I would like you to tell me what games matter to you. What games have influenced you over the years? What games do you have the most fondest memories of? What games were important to you? What games did you bond with your little brother over? Or your older brother? Or your older sister? Or your younger sister? What games brought you and your boyfriend together? Or you and your husband together? You know, what games brought you together? What games meant something to you? Go ahead and tell me that. Leave that in the comment section below. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. So if you've enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving a like. It really helps out the channel and I really do appreciate it. So please do leave that like and click subscribe if you want to see more from me, guys. I'm Casey. I want to thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.